Good afternoon. Today you're going to be working with another teacher today, and I need you focused. So please do a good job of being respectful, being on task. The first thing you're going to do is you're watching this video and you're going to take notes. So put your first name, last initial. Today is November 1st, 2023, and this is you're either block 1, 2, or 3. So write which one you are. You can pause this video at any time to take your notes. All right, there's going to be a math mystery. You have some crazy jumping jack-o'-lanterns, and they're going crazy in the town, and we have to figure out who the mystery person responsible for this happening, who it is, so they can help us solve the problem. All right, and so we have all of these suspects, and what we have to do to narrow it down to who the actual person is that can help us, we have to solve a bunch of math problems. So here are some math problems. We'll have to do these problems, and I'll go over the different types of math you need to know to solve these problems, and that's what you're going to take notes on today. So I'm going to get into showing you the math, and then I'll show you how this works. So the first types of problem are exponents. So remember, if you have 5 squared, 5 is the base, 2 is the exponent. The exponent 2, that tells us how many times we're multiplying 5 by itself. So 5 squared would be 5 times 5. When you're doing this problem, I want you to write down 5 times 5 and then circle the answer. Now, 5 times 5, it is 25. So I would find any 25s. Here's a 25, and it's C, so I put a C. Here's another 25, so I put C. I have 2 to the 4th power, so I want to make sure I write, remember, the exponent tells us how many times we're multiplying 2 by itself. So this would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Right, you have to write this out. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It's really important because then we do order of operations. 2 times 2 is 4, and then times 2 is 8, and then times 2 is 16. Some people do 2 times 4 is 8, and that's wrong. You have to make sure 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So now I have my answer, and any 16s, find 16s, and I put the letter M. Now this clue, maybe it tells me, maybe it'll tell me something like, the person that wanted revenge on the city, this wasn't the motive for the crime. So if I get the clue that says taking revenge on the city was not the motive, then anybody that had the motive, revenge on the city, I can cross out and eliminate. That's not what that clue is. So you'll have to solve all these math problems to figure out what the clue is. And then you can see who you can eliminate. Once you've done all these math problems, you'll be down to one person, and we'll know who can help us solve this crime. The second type of problem you need is you had 0 and 5/10 times 6. Well, remember, these are my factors, and the answer is the product. So the nice thing here, 5 times 6 is 30, but I need the same number of decimal places in the product that are in my factors. So this is a whole number. There's no decimal places here, but this one has 1 decimal place. So I need 1 decimal place in my product. If I had 7/10 times 4/10, well, 7 times 4 is 28, and these are my factors. I have 1 decimal place there, 1 decimal place there, so 2 decimal places. I need 2 decimal places in my product. All right, so that's another skill you're going to have. If you look here, 9 times 3 is 27. I have 1, 2 decimal places, 1, 2 decimal places. So I'm looking for 27 hundredths. and that would be letter E. So do I see any? Here's 27 hundredths. That's letter E. I'm sure E is a pretty popular. Here's 27 hundredths. Here's the letter E. So you just have to search for all the 27 hundredths and put an E in there. I may have missed some. The next type of problem would be just some word problems. So these ones, you'll just have to read the problem. I don't know what you'll have to do. Diego collected 345 pieces of candy. Tanner helped collect 2/5 of Diego's collection. How many pieces of candy did Tanner collect for Diego? Well, to figure out what 1/5 is, I could divide 345 by 5. So if I did 345 divided by 5, I would get 5 doesn't go into 3, but it goes into 34 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. I have 4 left. Drop the 5. 5 goes into 45 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. So 1/5 is equal to 69. Now it says 2/5. So that means I need to 2/5. I need to double 69. So that would be 138. So if this is 138 and it's letter T, I would find any 138s. Here's a 138, and that's letter T. And I just go, here's a 138, there's T. And again, these will unlock clues. The word problems, just work your best, do the ones you can. I'll help you tomorrow if you don't get to all of them. I don't expect you to finish this today, but I do expect you to be focused and working hard, trying to get done as much as you can. And my advice would be to go and do the easiest problems first and come back tomorrow with me and ask questions if there's some challenging, tough ones. Page 4, that you have to add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. Integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So I don't expect you to do page 4. I will, believe it or not, the easiest would be multiplying or dividing integers. So I will explain multiplying and dividing integers. If you want to try them out on page 4, those you can. Adding and subtracting is another beast. I'll help you with that later on. So, but again, you can just skip page 4 altogether, and I can help you with that tomorrow if you want. Because I think the other pages you have plenty of work you can do. But when you are, so basically the rules are this: if the signs are the same, answer is positive. So if you have 4 times 7, that equals 28. The signs are the same. They're both positive. If you have a -4 times a -7, the signs are the same. You're multiplying and they're both negative. The signs are the same. So your answer is +8, believe it or not, but it is. And if you're dividing, same thing. If you had 28 divided by 7, you're dividing and the 28's positive, 7's positive. So your answer is +4. If you have a -28 divided by a -7, again, you're dividing and the signs are the same. So it's a +4. If the signs are different, your answer is negative. So if I have a 4 times a -7, the 4 is positive, the 7's negative, the signs are different, so it's a -28. I could also have a -4 times a +7. The signs are different. My product is -28. Now, if I'm dividing, if I have 28, I'm sorry, here, the signs are different. So if I have 28 divided by a -7, here I'm dividing, the signs are different. One's positive, one's negative. So my answer is a -4. I could also have a -28 divided by a positive 7. I'm dividing, the signs are different. So my quotient is negative 4. So again, if I'm multiplying or dividing and the signs are the same, a positive times a positive, a negative times a negative, I'm going to get my answer will be positive. If the signs are different, my answer is negative. Again, you can skip 4 altogether if you want. And then the last type of problem, greatest common factor. You guys have already done this, right? Greatest common factor. So if the greatest common factor, if you have 30 and 12, well, the factors of 30 would be 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 5 times 6. The factors of 12, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Remember, factors are numbers that go into another number evenly. So 2 is a factor of 12 because 2 goes into 12 evenly 6 times. 12 is a factor of 12 because 12 goes into 12 evenly 1 time. 6 goes into 12 evenly 2 times. So these are all the factors of 12, all the factors of 30. What do they have in common? 1, 2, 3, and 6. They're asking for the greatest, the GCF, the greatest common factor, and that would be 6. And again, if I have the greatest common factor of 30 and 12, it's 6. So wherever I see a 6, I put in a D. Here's a D. Here's a D. Here's a D. And then I go on and do others. So your goal is just to get as much done as possible. If you were to finish and be done with this, you could work on IXL. But I don't think any group will get done. Go ahead, do whatever page you like. That's easiest. Do you can save the challenging problems, the ones that are more challenging, and do those towards the end, and do the ones you're feeling comfortable with first. And the most important thing is in your group, you're rotating. If I do this one, 4 times 7 is 28. I have 1 decimal place, so 2 and 8/10. Talk it out loud. Explain to your partner what you did. Don't just write down the answer. By the end of this, everyone hopefully is feeling good at all these concepts. So if I did this one, then I'd have my partner would do this one. And again, they would say, oh, 2 times 8 is 16. I have 1 decimal place, so 1 and 6/10. Explain what you're doing. Make sure the other person, when you are working, they're paying attention. Don't let them goof around. Keep each other accountable to being focused and doing a nice job. The sub will be looking for someone that's focused, working hard. Maybe they're helpful to give us a snitch today. So have a great time. Hopefully you enjoy solving this crime. All right. Bye.